The Avery County Board of Education received several applications for superintendent. They interviewed the top candidates on Saturday, and they selected two finalists, Dr. Jamie Johnson of Avery County Schools and Dr. Michael Fetter of Jackson County Schools. Tonight, we'll give you an opportunity to hear from Dr. Jamie Johnson. At this time, I'd like to recognize Mr. David Wright, Chair of our Board of Education, who will share some remarks and introduce board members in attendance.
Thank you, Dr. Bridges. I'm glad to see you here tonight. We really appreciate your participation in this. We are really searching for input on this. Okay, that's why you're here. We wanted you to be here and participate. This is an important thing. And on behalf of the Board of Education, and I'd like to introduce them now. We have Ms. Michelle Herna. I saw Mr. Coleman Bailey and Ms. Linda Webb. Did I see Ms. Holtzclaw? Yep. I hadn't seen her. I guess she's here yet. Maybe she's on the way. But just let me say this real fast. I'm not going to say much. Avery County is very special. This community is very special. Our teachers, and all of our employees are very special. A principal, so everybody's a special here. But the most special people are our students, of course. So again, I emphasize the word important. This is a big decision for Avery County. As y'all know, we've had many superintendents over the last couple of years. So we're excited about this opportunity. And again, it means a lot seeing y'all here to participate. And I really, really want y'all to have your input. Did everybody get the papers that came in? You don't get one later, but thank you for being here. And is it time to from Dr. Johnson? Okay, thank you.
So tonight, we're honored to welcome Dr. Jamie Johnson. Dr. Johnson will discuss his background and vision for Avery County Schools. Then we'll have a question and answer session led by our student government representatives, Sawyer Burnett and Lucas Hudson. They will ask 5 questions of the candidate. Afterwards, Dr. Johnson will be offered time for closing remarks. At the conclusion of tonight's program, feel free to come down and talk to Dr. Johnson. As you enter today, you were given a feedback form and pen. At the end of the night, I'll ask you to give that feedback form to Rachel Shepard. There she is. We'll give these feedback forms to our Board of Education members for their review. We will be following the exact same process with our forum with Dr. Vetter on Monday. Now it's my honor to introduce to you Dr. Jamie Johnson.
So strange. Before we begin, I want to just recognize our students again. I had the good privilege of being principal for both of these guys. Outstanding. That's a good start. These guys are awesome young men. I'm really proud of them. They are great examples of what Avery County Schools could produce and be successful. I look forward to hearing they're seniors, so they're headed off. They're looking at colleges already, and we're very proud of you. Anything we can do to support you, let us know. They are great guys. Let's give them a hand. I will say, Coach Wright, I say Coach Wright, because Coach was my basketball coach when I was in high school. So it's hard for me to say David to anybody that's talking. Mr. Crenshaw, I can't say Johnny, Miss Edwards, she was Pat, she's Miss Edwards. But it's great to be here. I sat right around there in freshman chorus, so that was a fun time. So there was like 2 guys in chorus, and it was me and some other guy that didn't really sing really loud, so it was not the best chorus. But it's great memories to be here. It's a good time. As Mr. Wright said, this is very important. This cannot be more important because it involves the lives of our children. This is the most significant decision we can make as a school district, because I believe, and I'll say this later, but I think the superintendent sets the tone for the district, sets it as a positive, a culture of positivity and respect and compassion, kindness, high expectations, all of those things. So this is a very important thing. I did make a lot of notes. I'll just do this. So this is my tabs. So make sure I have some thoughts, and I didn't want to misstate something or leave something out because it's so important. Now, I haven't memorized this whole thing, but I wanted to get the points across that were significant, that are very important, and I want you all to hear my heart, if that makes sense. So I don't want to misspeak or something or stumble over a word just because I couldn't remember exactly how to say it. I wanted to relay my heart to you all. So forgive me if I look down a few times, but I'm just looking at my notes, and I want to do the best job I can to relay information to you about me. What we have, the first part of this is to introduce ourselves. I feel really strange introducing myself to a room of people that already know me, but that's okay. I've been given this time, and I want to share a little bit. My name is Jamie Johnson. There was a little confusion when we posted who was the two Persians. There was somebody at Dr. Vedder and James Johnson. Who is that? I don't know who James Johnson was, but that's me. I'm Jamie Johnson. So I'm privileged. I cannot say enough how honored I am to be considered for the position of superintendent. For my professional career, it would be the highest honor to be able to say I am superintendent of a school system that gave so much to me, that has blessed me so much in so many ways. It's really impactful to even stand here and see the people that are in the audience that have made my life into what it is, that have really encouraged me and taught me and challenged me and loved me. That's so important. And it's just made me into the person I am. I'm proud to say that, and I hope they are as well. So I was born here over in Banner Elk, where they're tearing down the hospital now. But I was born in Banner Elk, grew up here, had brothers going to Newland Elementary, what is now Avery Middle School. It was then Crossnor Newland Junior High. Remember that? I had Mr. Crenshaw as a science teacher. We ate worms. We did eat worms. But I went to Avery, then I went to Avery High. Avery High, all these schools prepared me in such a way to be successful in college. I was proudly went off to Wake Forest, Codex University, and was able to be successful there. Later on, went to UNCG and got an education, master's degree in education. And at that time is when I met my wife, Susan. Right after we were married, had just graduated, we moved right back up here because I wanted to come back here to serve the school district that had given me so much. I wanted to return all the blessings that I had received to someone else, to many others. I should have counted up how many kids I've had come through. That would have been an interesting number. But I hope that I have been successful in coming here and trying to bless and provide direction and encouragement and love to the students that I've had as I've received when I was a student. We have two kids, Matthew and Abby, and they both came through Avery County Schools, Newland Elementary, Avery Middle, and Avery High. And we could not be more thankful, and maybe get a little emotional, because every group, every person, every school provided such love, kindness, encouragement, support. Some people tutored them, brought them along to where they could be successful. Some people even put them on stage. Remember Extraordinary Players? That was a great experience for our kids. Just an amazing blessing for our kids to go through Avery County Schools, and we're so thankful for that. Now, at this point, I want to talk a little bit about where I was, where I am now, and where we want to go. Our motto for Avery County Schools, if you look under the logo, it's grounded in values, growing with purpose. I can't think of a better way for me to kind of summarize all that than say, I feel I'm grounded in Avery County values, the values that have been given to me through my parents, my church, the school system, teachers, coaches, all of those folks that poured into my life. I feel that has brought me here to this point that I am today, prepared to take this next step. Then we're talking about growing with purpose. So where are we going to go from here? mention here in a second, have brought me to the place where I'm prepared to go into the future success of our Avery County schools. I want you to know, and I'll say it again probably, but no one that you could get would work harder for Avery County schools than me. I'm not a bragger person, and I don't like to say I'm the best that ever would be about this, but that's how I would work harder than anyone else for Avery County schools. So these roles that I've had in Avery County schools have prepared me and brought me here to this place of leadership that I am today. First thing was I was a teacher. As I said, I was a teacher at Avery Middle. That serves me as a superintendent to say, hey, the decisions we make up at the central office level, at the district level, will have an immediate impact on the student in that classroom. And it could change their lives. It could be able to provide the intervention they need, the instruction strategy that we need to pursue, the materials they need to be successful. And if we can't provide that, then it could alter their lives. And so those decisions made at that level of superintendent, board of education, district decisions are impactful at the single classroom level. The other thing I did is I've been a coach. I coached football. We were newlyweds, and Susan did not like it one bit. I was out every night coaching. It seemed like till midnight coaching football. It was kind of hard on these newlyweds. But what I learned about coaching is that we know this, not every kid connects in the same way. Some kids connect academically, and we want all our kids to be wildly successful academically, for sure. That's what we would like to see. But some don't. Some connect with a meaningful, powerful, impactful, encouraging relationship through other things. We have fine arts. We're in the performing arts area. We have a lot of successful places. Some kids do a fantastic job. They're highly skilled in drama or chorus or band, those kind of things. And they create a connection with those people that are in their lives that can sustain them through high school. Whenever we have 8th grade promotion in Premier Middle, I've always made the kids repeat after me. I make them say, I will graduate from high school. And I want them to understand that. That is my expectation. That is their parents' expectation. We want them to be wildly successful. And a connection like that is important. So as a coach, I know that it's not just a connection maybe with academics, a teacher here, a coach who's there with them in the evenings when they're working hard and being successful. It could be an extracurricular club, it could be FFA, a leadership thing, one of those things. But that thing, the thing I learned from that as a coach was it's important to see the whole picture. It's important for the superintendent to see the whole county, the whole district, and how we can best serve our district. Also, of course, I'm currently a principal, so we understand the importance of a building level culture. And it needs to be a culture of positivity. It needs to be something that impacts our kids, that shows support of our teachers and staff. That culture makes a big difference. I've seen both ends of it. I've seen a culture of positivity. I've seen a culture of not so positive. And the impact is clear either way. And I think that teaches us, me as a superintendent, to understand wherever I'm about, I need to be promoting a culture of positivity, a culture of cooperation, of teamwork, of collaboration. So that's another thing that my experience has brought me to. When we come together, like we came together Wednesday with our principals and district leadership, we work as a team to try to solve problems for resources. We have limited resources. I wish we didn't, but we do, and we have to work together. So that experience has brought me to the point where I say, okay, I can see how systems work throughout our district, how a decision here can impact the school there, and we have to balance this and make sure that we're doing the best thing, as Mr. Wright said, for our students, because they come first. I failed to mention this, there was a time when I wasn't in the school system, but I worked at First Baptist Church Newland as a youth pastor. I was still working with children, and for some reason I decided to run for the Board of Education. I'm not sure about that. And it was elected, surprisingly. So while I was on the board, we had to make some difficult decisions, but it was based on a couple of things, on limited resources and best interest of the community. And that gives you a picture of the accountability that comes with serving in this office, in Board of Education, and superintendent of the district, and central services. Because we need to partner with our community partners, with our government partners, our county commissioners, and have positive I think when Avery County Schools is good, it's good for Avery County. When Avery County is good, it's good for Avery County Schools. And I think that we need to always remind that, keep that at the forefront, and work together to, and again, for the best interest of our students. That's the most important thing. And finally, as a parent, not last but certainly not least, we understand that everything we do, everything that we're about, every decision we make should be focused on how can we best serve our students, how can we give them the best opportunities to succeed in every area, whatever area they want to pursue, so that we can find out not if how smart they are, but how they are smart. Because every kid's smart, right, in some way. That's going to be a way that we contribute to the life of a child. Show them how this is how you are successful and how you can lead forward into a life, whatever you want to do. We want kids to have choices after high school. So when we show them how they're smart, they can choose well and go forward even after high school. All those experiences make me, that brings me up to current, up to present. And here we are when we're looking at who's the next superintendent. And I think that brings me to a kind of a uniquely qualified. I don't know anyone else that has all those things. I've been a teacher, a principal, board member, a parent, and all the other aspects of coach, so that we have that picture of what does Avery County need and how can we best deliver it. If someone were to ask me about my leadership style, I would think the two things that would pop up would be relationships and serving others, putting others first. They would say relationship-centered, student-centered for sure, visible and accessible, collaborative. I appreciate good teamwork. Coach Wright taught me that it's important to be as a team. And finally, I think it would be calm and steady. Calm and steady. I think I don't get too high or too low. I try not to do too high. Now, Susan may disagree. I try not to. Just a few other things. What I believe about leadership is people come first. We should have high expectations, but we should also provide support to achieve those high expectations. You don't want to give high expectations and then leave somebody hanging. You want to give them support. Listen closely here. The superintendent, my view of the superintendent, serves students by serving and supporting the people who serve them.
Amen.
That's a lot of serving. I'm okay with that, because that's what we want to be about. We need to serve, lift up others, and encourage others. The superintendent, as I said earlier, sets the tone and should be a positive. So that takes us to the vision. What do I see for Avery County Schools? And what I say first is, the first thing I would want to do as a superintendent is come in and develop a shared vision. This is just what I see I'd like to see happen. That I wouldn't want to say this is our vision without listening, without hearing what other people say. This is where we're good. This is what we need to protect. These are things we do well. These are areas that we might need to strengthen some and work on. And I think that would take a little time. Of course, we'd have a transition plan that would go into effect as I started out. But my vision for Avery County Schools would be to become a district where every student thrives and experiences success. Some type of success. It doesn't have to be academic success. I like it. We don't say has great test scores. We want great test scores? Of course we want great test scores. But we want to have successful students so that they can go forward after life in high school, so they can experience success there. Where every employee feels valued and supported. We don't have students or employees that feel valued and supported, we're not going to have the best employees. Things are not going to go as well as they could, again, for our kids. And every family and community member is proud to be a partner of our schools. I think that's a great thing to consider, to aspire to, that we evoke pride in our county. I'm proud to be from Avery County. I love Avery County. I wouldn't want to be from anywhere else. And I want us to get back to where we have a sense of community pride, unity in what we're trying to be about. And that's would be my vision. I would want us to be a place where everyone is confident, every decision we make is centered on student need. What I would say as far as success, one more thing, I just want to say, if I were going to say this is success, success would look like this. I'm proud of myself, I got these out. That is amazing, it was so much better. Success would look like this for me. Employees that say, I know where we're going, and my word matters. That would be success in my eyes. Families that say, I am informed, I am heard, and I am welcomed. That would be success in my eyes. Principals that say, the district supports us. They remove barriers that hinder us from doing our job, and they empower us to do our best work. That would be success, principals would say. Board members would say, we have clear information, we have true information, we have honest information, and confidence that when we decide on something, it's going to be implemented. And finally, students, the most important, can say, I am known, I am challenged, I am supported, and I am prepared. Basically, I am loved. That would be success in my eyes. And that's my vision for Avery County Schools.
Perfect segue for success and students as we turn now to Sawyer and Lucas to ask a few questions.
Remember what I did in fifth grade?
Okay. Like many counties. No.
You switch it.
It's on. Okay. Like many counties, Avery County is facing declining enrollment and some facilities in need of significant repairs and upgrades. As superintendent, how would you address these issues in regards to a potential consolidation of our two middle schools?
Is that it? That's, I'm glad we started with that easy one. So, can you read that again? I'm just kidding. So we talked about this a little bit today. I've had the chance this morning to meet some of our teachers of the year, and some other staff members, and this afternoon, the principals, and some other folks from the central services. We talked a little bit about where we are and how do we, because we've got a couple of different things there in the question. We're losing students.
Yes,
Declining enrollment. We're losing students for a variety of reasons, and that's been trending since COVID. We know that our enrollment is dropping, and we can look forward to that. One thing that we want to do with declining enrollment is to plan ahead. We need to think about it 2 and 3 years down the road, not just react to what is going on in one given year. We need to think ahead. What can we do to be proactive and not reactive? Now, that's not going to solve the problems, because if we say, okay, we're going to look at enrollment in middle school, and we have 2 schools that we can consolidate into one. What we want to do, and I think what the board did when we were looking at that last time, was to go into the schools. I know that they came to Cranberry and talked to us about what that might look like and what they're looking for. It's important to get ahead and communicate as early as possible on those things, because we don't want any surprises. We don't want people to think, how did it stay? We know that our enrollment's declining. Now, how do we do that? There's a couple of different ways. We're losing some to homeschool, and some people want to homeschool for their convictions, and that's perfectly fine. What I would like to do when we have someone leave is almost do like an exit interview and say, why, what is causing you to leave? Is there anything that we can do to pull you back in? Is there a way that we can change why you, and the reason you left, that we can change that, and you would come back and give us another chance? Because we need to have those numbers increase. We're going to have to look at changes, of course, but we have to monitor that. But I think as far as consolidating 2 schools, I think we have to do what's in the best interest. When I was on the board before, we had to actually close Beach Mountain. I don't know if you all remember that time. I think that's not an easy decision, but the numbers were like, we have to do something because it's not physically, not financially responsible. So I think there's a couple of different ways that we need to get out into the communities. One thing that I would do to try to capture those people back is I would set up meetings. In the first 30 days, I would try to meet at each school and talk to staff and talk to communities to see where are we doing things well and protect that, celebrate it, say this is great. These are things that we're doing successfully. And And what are areas that we need to work on, that we need to strengthen, that is causing us to lose people, to lose students, to homeschool or to other districts? What are they offering that we're not? And can we do that? And then there's some realities that we are limited resources, we're unable to do that. So I think we want to look at how we can plan ahead and anticipate those changes and anticipate those difficulties and work together to find a solution. If it's consolidating schools, we need to do that early on. Say, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do, this is the timeline, and if we have to move forward with that, then we do it in the best possible way so that it doesn't derogatorily impact our students.
As superintendent, how would you ensure that you are visible in all schools while still ensuring the work of the district gets done?
So this is very important about improving communication, because we always talk about improving communication, and I think one thing that is critical for us is at the central office level is to be visible in all our schools, because I think that relays that we know what you're doing is important. I would want to be in schools regularly, and I would certainly visit all of our schools. As a principal, I don't sit in my office. I try to move around, and you guys have seen that. And when I'm walking around, I try to manage by walking. You try to be present and be visible. You interact with students, you interact with staff. There's a lot of positive, wonderful conversations that happen when you're moving around in that way. And I think the visibility is key, because, I mean, here's the truth, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. Yeah. And you're caring, your time invested in people being there alongside, saying, hey, I will come help proctor your EOGs or your check-ins at the beginning of the year when things are kind of slack. I think we have to commit to being there. I know that the central office folks, I've been very pleased with the folks that have come in, and they are committed to being in our buildings, to demonstrating that they are there to serve. And we have to say that a lot, but then you have to act on it. You have to turn talk, conversation into action. And I think we have to demonstrate that with our actions and show. That's a good idea. We have to not just talk the walk, but walk the talk. We have to demonstrate that we truly mean that they're important and they're valued. And a part of that is being around, being present, and soliciting their input. At the same time, you have to have systems in place so that the business of the district runs. You can balance that. There's a lot I'm learning as I learn about superintendency, is a lot hinges on balance. You want to do everything all the time, but you can't. So you have to understand how you balance and how you use your team to make sure that people know that you care, that you're there for them, that you're interested in their work, and you want to interact with your students. I think being visible it's not easy, it takes time, but it takes an intentionality to show the people that you're leading that they're important and they're worth visiting.
What is your vision to increase the academic achievement of our students over the next 30 days, 1 year, and 5 years?
30 days.
Get with it.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. It's a great question, because we want to have our students, wherever they are, every student we have deserves the support to grow. Every student we have deserves the opportunity to grow. And that means meet them where they're at. So some would be high, they still should grow and expand. And the students that are doing well, but they can do better, they deserve to grow. Students that are struggling, they deserve to grow. So we want to focus on our student achievement. I think part of the superintendent's job is to create conditions that are conducive to success. So that means, I can't be in every classroom, for sure, but we want to be strategic about our planning, about how we place our intervention specialists, how we place our tutors. Each school has the ability to place those supports where they're most needed. I think it's important to focus on the core instruction. There's a lot of, I don't want to talk about a lot of jargon, just to be honest, but there's a lot of stuff that we go into. The classroom is where everyone is, and then we see who is still struggling, who still needs an addition. We go to what's called Tier 2, where we provide some more interventions, some more specialists, other options, other strategies to teach, and then when that doesn't work, we go to Tier 3. So we want to be intentional about planning our instruction, planning how we do our professional development. We want to equip our teachers to be able to see those struggles, to identify them quickly, to diagnose and then address, so that they are confident in what they're about. We don't want to chase after a program, but if a resource helps in doing that, then we put our resources. We're talking about budgeting. I think a budget is a great image of what is important to us. I mean, you think about ourselves. We spend money on what's important to us. The school system spends money on what is important. And we want to make sure that our budgeting aligns with student achievement. We want to make sure our teachers have the resources they need, the professional development they need, those supports. And I think being in a positive culture is an important part of that. So we can do things in 30 days. Did you say 30 days in 6 months?
30 days, 1 year, 5.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. So I think a good thing for us to do systemically and intentionally is to have a professional development plan that says, okay, in year 1, we want to have our 6th grade teachers trained in this strategy. And then we are smart about that and present that out. We go out to 7th grade, 8th grade, if it's a middle school initiative or in elementary school. We want to plan specifically and not try to, like, see, this is happening, let's go chase this. See, this is how we go chase this. We want to be specific and intentional and strategic about planning how we use our money, our professional development that grows our teachers. We also have to be about recruiting good teachers. And that's a challenge sometimes. We don't have a lot of applicants for jobs right now. And it's a challenge to get teachers that are highly qualified. So we want to be able to have, I think we talked a little bit this afternoon about developing something that grows our teachers. If our TAs want to be teachers, how am I going to get there to do that? This is how the pathway we do that. If our teachers want to be administrators, how do we do that? What's the steps for that? And develop our own talent, because we've got such great people. You guys have had great people that have worked with you in schools and fostered success. And I see that opportunity for us to capitalize on what we have here instead of trying to find it elsewhere. We can find it elsewhere too, but I think we have an untapped talent pool that we could utilize here. So I think it takes being intentional, using the data that we have to see where the needs are. If we don't use the data, then why are we doing the testing? Why are we doing the assessments? But I think we use the data to inform our decisions, and then we go forward with the best people we can find or train and put them in the classrooms for our students to help them be successful.
The impact of social media is unavoidable. What is your approach to handling social media about you and the school district in a way that maintains transparency, professionalism, and stakeholder engagement?
You mean social media is bad? Never seen that. Social media is not something that's going away. I mean, I don't think it's anything that we can just ignore. I think it's we should be using it as a platform of communication, of celebration, to highlight our students and our staff, our employees. I would certainly not engage in any debate on social media, because you are not going to win. Your warrior is going to outlast you. But I think social media is something that we have to be aware of. You have to listen to it. You have to be aware of it. You have to look at information. Sometimes something's posted. You have to say, okay, is this true? Is this where we're going to verify what it is? If it's something that we need to be addressed, we need to communicate to that person. Say, hey, could you come in and share with me what this is about? Because we don't want something going on that shouldn't be going on. We don't want a misunderstanding. A lot of times it is based on misunderstanding. or just inaccurate information. But we don't want to escalate on that. I think the thing that I would say about social media is that it is a tool to be used for good, not evil. We want to use it for our benefit. We want to highlight what we're doing well and upgrade, lift up our profile in the community so that we can develop that pride that we talked about, and that we can communicate with our families. One thing I would think we should do is, a goal would be to communicate so well ourselves that people don't look at social media for their information. Now, we know that they go to social media for information, but if we communicate our part well, then it's going to be clear and we don't have any confusion. It's a lot about criticism on Facebook. Now, that happens, and that's going to come, and the way that you deal with that is that you're not going to engage online, but if you want to talk to that person, establish some communication and win over another supporter of Avery County Schools. I don't think we want to engage that unless we have to, and unless we're showing that something is just patently false. And I think we have to address it. You have to say, this is not true. This is who we are. This is what happened. Social media is though something we can't ignore. We have to use it for positivity for our district and for what we can get out of it instead of what it's going to take out of us.
How will you include parents, stakeholders, and local officials in decision-making for our school district?
When I'm talking about a strategic plan or a plan, when I come into the position the first 30 days, the first 60 days, again, like I said, I would want to have meetings at each school and talk with the staff, bring them in and say, tell me what's good, tell me what's bad, tell me what's going on, and inform our decision making. Then we meet with the parents that evening and say, what are you seeing? What is the struggle for you? What can we do better? What are we doing really well that you appreciate? And go from there. I think when we engage parents in that way, it brings their opinion in. It brings, and when we bring opinion in, it brings in their support. I think that's important when how we engage our stakeholders. I think we have to be clear and communicate. Hey, we're talking about our budget, and we want to present this and share all the information and lay it out and say, this is what we got. This is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do anything subversive or anything. We're trying to accomplish the best goals for our students. And I think you share that information with stakeholders. We invite them to come in for meetings when we're discussing budget. We want to solicit information. I think the surveys that Mr. Wright is saying, that we want your input. We want to hear what our priorities for the school system and for your child. It's important because this is our county. It's who we are. And I think we pull them in. We have committees. We talk about updates. I think you share as much information as possible so that they can know where we stand with our finances. All right, sure. Okay. Well, I want to share this with you. I just want to say that my heart is in Avery. It's hard to put into words how much we care about our community. I look around and see people that I care a great deal about that have supported me and supported our kids and have supported Avery County Schools. And I want to say thank you. I want to say I appreciate everything that you've been about. I want to say you are heroes to our kids because you have supported them in a way that can allow them to succeed. And I appreciate each and every one of you for your support of our schools. It means more than you'll ever know. I'm going to read this because I don't want to get a little misty about it. Thank you for the opportunity to share my vision with you today. Avery County isn't simply where I work, it's home, and it's our school system. I've had the privilege of serving this community in many different roles. Each one has reinforced my belief that our greatest strength in Avery County is our people. We have great people. If I'm fortunate enough to be selected superintendent, I will lead integrity and a servant's heart. I work to build trust, support employees, and ensure that every decision we make is centered on what's best for students. I will be honored to help lead Avery County Schools into its next chapter.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson, and thank you to Sawyer and Lucas. Also, as we're extending gratitude, thank you to Principal Ricky Ward, Assistant Principal Mike Jackson, Stephanie Watson for letting us use their space tonight. And thank you for coming out tonight. As a reminder, you have those feedback forms. If you could give those to Rachel Shepard on your way out, she'll have the collection envelope. We will give those to the Board of Education. Another reminder, we will host this event Monday night, same time with our other finalists, Dr. Michael Metter, Monday night at 6 o'clock. At this time, please feel free to come down and talk to Dr. Johnson. Thank you for coming out tonight.